Hello you guys, my name is Crystal and thank you all for tuning in to Chris Codes. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like button because you know you want to, and it's free. Notification bell to be notified whenever I drop new content. Comment, subscribe, and if you want to see us finish this look, let's get into it. So today, I know you all probably have seen the title, but we're going to be talking about the invisible threat. Now, I'm going to explain what I mean by that. When I say invisible threat, we all have that person or that group of people that dislike us for whatever reason. They just secretly hate you. They're like plotting your demise almost, you know? And it's sad to say, but it's just true. Everybody's not going to like you. That's a fact. That's a known fact. But it's always that particular someone or that particular group that dislikes you to the point where you don't even understand what you could have possibly done to have this person so angry with you, you know, so obsessed almost. And we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna dive deep. You know how we do. Let's get into it. You always have those select few, whether it's one, whether it's a couple, 2 to 3, or whether it's a group that just solely dislike you and you don't even know what the reason could possibly be. They just don't like you. So we're going to talk about that, and I titled this The Invisible Threat, thanks to my mother, because we was actually talking about this today. And I call this an invisible threat because I feel like that's one of the main reasons why we have these type of people that like to nitpick and, you know, try and figure out some reason in their head for why they can't stand you, why they dislike you, and all that jazz. We're going to talk about the reasons why these people may not like you. It's a few reasons that I want to touch on, and I'm going to elaborate on them. You know, feel free to talk amongst yourself in the comments and let me know what you think about these reasons. Let me know if you've ever came across somebody that does these things or acts this way, and talk about why you think they act that way. You know, I'm intrigued. This is intriguing to me. I want to know. So let me know down in the comments and let me get into the reasons. Okay, so these will be my top 2 reasons. The first one I'm going to talk about is insecurity. Everyone has something or a trait about themselves, whether it's personality, or whether it's a physical trait, something that they may be insecure about. But it's your job to be able to control your emotions and be able to control how you cope with that insecurity. For example, I'm tall. I'm 5'9". I've been this height for as long as I can remember. You know, obviously not when I was a baby, but literally from about elementary school up, I was this height. Now, was this always, you know, something that I valued or something that I treasured? No. It used to be an insecurity of mine. Who wants to be towering over all your friends? Who wants to tower over their teachers? You know what I'm saying? So that was an insecurity of mine. Now, am I going to take that insecurity out on all the shorter girls in my class, that aren't taller than their teacher, so they're actually viewed as a child and not, an adult. So they're, spoken to differently, treated differently, obviously. And of course, this will make me feel some type of way, but like I said, it's how you handle it. It's how you cope with the situation that you're in. It's how you cope with the traits you were given, what you were God given. He gave it to you for a reason. Cope with it. Figure out why you have that gift or that trait and make it work for you. Period. So back to, am I going to stress out about, or make the little people, they're not little people, but you get what I mean, or make the women or girls at that time that are 5'4" or 5'5" and below feel like, I hate them or I dislike them in any way just because I'm insecure about something with me? No, I'm not going to do that. Because what good would that do me? Now, not to mention, I feel like insecurity is a huge thing because a lot of people like to deflect and they like to project their emotions and their feelings onto someone else. It's similar to, for example, you want to go to this Ivy League school, but you're from the hood and your grades aren't that well. You're not gonna be able to do that. Even I couldn't get into this school. Okay, you're projecting. You don't know me. You know what I mean? You don't know what I'm capable of, and you don't know what God has for me. So just because you're not able to doesn't mean I'm not able to. You get what I'm saying? Just because you're insecure about something or you feel like that you weren't able to achieve that doesn't mean the next person is. So I just find it just really like sad that people do that. But that's just facts. It's just facts. And as far as insecurity is concerned, we're going to come back to this reason probably towards the end because I think this was huge. But I want to touch on that first because I feel like that's one of the main reasons why we have these secret haters and stuff like that. And now we're going to go into the second reason, which is the title. So we're going to get into that. So one of the second reasons and the main reason would be your threat. Now, I'm saying invisible threat because you're a threat to them. In your mind, you just want to be you. You want to shine. You want to be the person that you are. You want to be bubbly. You want to be happy. You just want to enjoy life. But this person feels like, who knows if it's whether it's in the workplace, whether it's in school. I don't know. It's so many different examples I can give, but I feel like the best example would be the workplace because I feel like this is where we deal with this the most. And when it comes down to people just feeling like you're a threat, you want to take their spot, you're improving or excelling in ways that they feel like they can't measure up. And if you're doing better than they were at that stage, then obviously they're going to feel some type of way. And it's sad that we have to kind of show sympathy and kind of empathize with that person and kind of understand why they act the way they do. But when you kind of pinpoint why that person is acting that way, it's easier to deal with it. It's easier to not be so angry or to react in such a way that diminishes your character, if you get what I mean. So if we pinpoint the reasons why these people are threatened or why these people just hate you overall. I use the word hate and that's a very strong word, but that's how some people act. Some people just act that way. So if you pinpoint the reason why these people act that way, and you can see why they see what they see, and kind of look at them, kind of analyze and kind of get a feel for what's going on around you, and not be so blindsided. You know what I mean? Kind of open your eyes to what's going on around you so you can figure out what's their problem. You know what I mean? What is your problem? Now, we've covered 3 different reasons. We covered the insecurity, so the insecure person. We've covered the person that feels like you're kind of trying to take their place, so the threat, the invisible threat, which you are. And then the third reason that I want to discuss, and that's misery loves company. I know we've heard this saying time and time again. If you haven't heard this saying, I don't know what rock you've lived under, or what rock you're living under, but this saying is overused and incredibly true. Okay. Misery loves company. And if you're happy-go-lucky, you love to look on the bright side of things, you just want to, I keep using the workplace because it's just easy to use that school, places where you're around a lot of people, even in your friend circles. If you're just that type of person where you kind of try and be that little drop of sunshine, or you want to be that explosion, in a dark and damp room, you want to be that sunlight in a dark place. So if you're walking around talking about how good life is and how blessed and highly favored you are, but the person next to you is behind on their rent, their light's about to get cut out, CPS got their kids, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not even trying to joke about it, but this is serious. You know what I mean? You don't know everything that's going on in people's lives, so you can't assume that you do. And am I telling you to dim your light? Never dim your light for anybody, for no one. But like I said before, we have to understand why people act the way they do and why people want to treat people the way that they do. Just because you're a ray of sunshine doesn't mean that the rainbow is following you. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean that people are just going to be happy. Now, I do believe that, positivity is contagious, which is why I say you don't dim your light for no one. Okay. But if you kind of see that people are having issues with you or something like that, a lot of times, if you feel like you can't necessarily pinpoint it, because eventually you will pinpoint it, but if you can't necessarily pinpoint it, if you can't play the game, and when I say play the game, I mean kind of interact with them without being emotionally involved, then don't play the game. So take a step back. You know what I mean? Still do your job, still do what you have to do, but don't entertain it. Because if you're not emotionally mature enough to be able to deal with some of the foolishness that goes on in school and in your workplace, or just around a lot of different people, even, groups like sororities, fraternities, things of that nature, then don't play the game. Because no one should be making you feel any type of way. You don't want to give anybody that type of control over you. And I can speak for truth in that, because I've done that time and time again. And that's one thing you just don't want to do. But now, if you know that how this person is acting is not going to affect you in any way, you're going to head home and sleep very well, then why not? If they're going to be constantly, putting you down or just sulking up the place, and you feel like you can affect that person in a positive way, you can show them the better side of life, brighten up their day, then why not? Because we need those type of people in the world. But if you don't feel like you're emotionally capable of keeping yourself upbeat and happy, and intertwining with them as well, then don't. You can be cordial, you can be professional without being mistreated or used up. So, with that being said, people are going to treat you crazy sometimes. People are going to mistreat you sometimes. And a lot of times it's just how you deal with that person. But I said I was going to come back on Insecure. And I'm coming back on Insecure because to me, people reek of insecurity. And it's human. You know, we're going to feel inadequate in some area. You know, that's life. It's life. But how are you gonna turn that around and make yourself see that even though I may not feel like this is my best quality, it's still my quality, you know? For example, even though I'm tall, I don't have any problem reaching anything on the top shelf. When I walk in a room, I demand attention. I stand up straight, I'm poised, and I give off this air of I'm about business. So yeah, it may have its cons, but it also has its pros. So we have to learn to see both sides of everything. So if you're insecure about something, you have to see the beauty in it. And a lot of people aren't capable of doing that. So if you're one of those people that are emotionally strong and emotionally developed, where you don't have a problem being around these very insecure people that see you as a threat or as an invisible threat, and you're invisible because you might not even be a threat to those people, but if they see you as such and you're emotionally stable, I say, why not try and help them see the beauty in their flaws or in their insecurities? Because even diamonds have inclusions, okay? So let's get into the final look and the final thought. I will be back with both. Love you guys. Stay tuned. All right, you guys, so I'm back with the final look. Notice I did a little blush this time. That actually came in my Ipsy bag. I'll show you all my Ipsy bag this month. Super cute. It's like a velvet. Love it. And that blush came in the Ipsy bag. Again, if you all do want me to start doing the Ipsy bags, showing you all what comes in them each month, I will start doing that again. I think I did that for like 1 or 2 videos and then stopped. So let me know in the comments if you all want me to do that. But yeah, this is the final look, and let's get into the final thought. All right, you guys, so just to sum up what we were talking about, so of course we're gonna have those people, whether it be anywhere in the world, okay? It's always gonna be someone that may view you as a threat, okay? But it's the way you handle it, the way you view things. In almost any aspect of trying to be a positive person or trying to stay positive throughout any type of circumstance is how you view a situation. So if you're only viewing it as this person is being rude to me or this person is disrespectful, then of course you're going to see it in a negative light. But if you view it as, hey, this person isn't the nicest to me, but they also have this, and this going on, so that may be a factor in why they're treating me this way. Oh, this person constantly hounds me at work. Okay, so it may be a possibility that they think that I'm trying to outshine them in some way. And again, that's insecurities. Like I said, we all have insecurities. We all have issues that we might have to deal with, and some people can deal with them better than others. But it's our job as individuals, I'm not saying better than other people, but as individuals trying to be better versions of ourselves, to do better and go above and beyond, to not display the same type of foolishness that everybody else does. We're not trying to be like everybody else. We're trying to be one of a kind, okay? And if you want to be one of a kind, sometimes you have to control yourself. You know what I'm saying? You have to think outside the box, and you have to be better and treat people better than the average person. So that's all I'm here to say. You know, you're going to have downfalls. You're going to have issues. You're going to have people that may not treat you in the way that you should be treated. But how are you going to deal with it? How are you going to cope? And how are you going to solve your issue? Are you going to allow them to affect you in any way? And if it is, did they affect you for the good or for the bad? Was it positive or was it negative? We're pushing positivity over here, okay? So I'm gonna stop jabbing, because you know, when I get going, okay? So if you all made it this far, you might as well go ahead and hit that like button, because you know you want to, okay? And it's free. Notification bell so you can be notified whenever I drop new content. Comment, subscribe. I love you guys, and I will see you all for the next video. Bye.